Okay, now we're going to look at the next step in this process of gaining ethical control, advantage, and leadership of your market forever. So I'm going to combine two very interrelated concepts. The first is answering a question. The question is, what is the first step you have to take to make your brand new first-time buyer, client, a raving fan of your business forever? And it needs to be forever, whether you sell one thing and that's it, and you want them to be the greatest sources of referrals, or if you sell many things over and over again, or the same thing over and over again. So let's look at the different ways you can accomplish it. And again, apologies, I'm going to try to put into 10 minutes that which I've learned in a lifetime, in which I normally will take each segment for 3 or 4 hours, so please bear with me. So now you have a buyer. Most people make a crucial mistake. They think that the moment they secure that purchase, they own the relationship automatically, and they turn their attention to getting new buyers instead of realizing this. The cost of acquiring the first buyer transaction, the first sale, is enormous. Time-consuming, capital-consuming, advertising, sales commissions, travel, credibility consuming, because you have to work so hard to build trust, and we're going to talk about trust. The moment they make that first purchase, they are saying, you have won my trust. You have won my respect. I believe you understand me better. So from that point on, there is a phrase we use in the States. It is yours to lose. That means now you own it. The only way you can lose it is to mismanage it. But you can't maximize the management of it if you don't understand what managing the relationship of a buyer forever means. So let's analyze and let's deconstruct and reconstruct and dissect it for you a little bit so you understand. So the first thing is the moment the transaction is complete, we always engineer in the clients we help, and we always teach at the seminars we give, that you want to do more at the point of sale and you want to do more after the point of sale than they ever expect, and then the client and the competition, would ever do. Now, at the point of sale, it might be that your normal guarantee is 30 days or 6 months, and if you know that statistically the probability of the product requiring service or breaking or needing to be replaced is very low after the sale, but when you're still with the client, whether it's on the phone or online or at a trade show or in their office, you can say, and by the way, we want to invest more in this relationship than even you. So I've talked to the office and we want to extend the guarantee by an extra 50%. That's just one idea. You can also say we want to include a month's worth of supplies. And I'm just giving you a couple of ideas because you can sell lots of things. Or we want to give you an extra 2 hours of our service. And this is our gift to you. We are buying this for you. Don't say giving it free. We are buying this for you. We normally sell it for whatever, $100, $250. But because we want this to be a lifetime relationship. We don't want this to be a single transaction where the moment you've purchased from us, we abandon you and go try to find another purchaser. We want every transaction you have with us to be more and more satisfying. Every interaction you have with us, even if you have a problem, to be fulfilling and to show that we are committed to you for life. We want our products, our service, and our people to contribute meaningfully to the quality, the protection, the joy of your life. And it can be anything. If you're a restaurant, to, having a great experience or great business dinners. If you're a sophisticated piece of equipment, to you being successful and outperforming your competition. So that's the next thing. The next thing is, if any of you have a very close, great, dear, best friend, which I'd like to hope you all do, he or she is someone that you communicate with often, and you talk about really meaningful things, and you're close and connected. Most people in business have the opposite attitude about communication. Well, they have two erroneous attitudes. One is, I don't really want to communicate often. I don't want to rock the boat. I'll communicate when they're ready to buy something else or refer someone else. The other incorrect assumption is, I'm going to bombard them every day with emails and letters and text. Why both are wrong is this: not communicating frequently diminishes the connection and the trust. However, communicating often with information that is self-serving, meaning it's only important to you, it isn't adding value to the market, is a turnoff too. What you want to do is continually communicate, disseminate, and dispatch, send out emails, texts, blogs, information notifications on your website, special updates, red alerts that always provide understanding, information, education, knowledge to your buyer. The more you invest in enriching their understanding of your product, your service, the field that it operates in, the problem it solves, the more trust they have. And if people are silently begging you to lead them, as long as they trust you, you need to do something else that I forgot, and I apologize, in the first segment. You need to establish not just what their buying criteria should be, but you need to establish the fact that once they choose you, not if, it should be a certainty, because if you're an authoritative leader, leaderships have certainty. You should be communicating to your prospect right from the beginning, before they buy, that once they become a valued, a trusted, and a priority client, and don't say customer, say client, of our company, we will be there for you for your entire life. We'll be there for you and for anybody else in your life that needs our expert understanding on our subject, on our product, on the industry. You can turn to us, but we will also continually commit ourselves to make certain you're the best educated, you're the most knowledgeable, you have the best understanding, so that you can make the best decisions about our product or anything else you ever choose. And the reason we're doing it is we believe that our greatest value is not just in the moment, although we are very proud and very, very confident that our product, service, and company and staff will serve you in this situation better. But we know that life is a constant continuum, and we are going to constantly invest in you forever. And you set that expectation up in the beginning. Now, once you've done that, now we're to what happens after they become a buyer. You continuously communicate. You continuously educate. You continuously engage them in activities that are valuable to them. Now, this gets into a really interesting discussion, and the discussion is a longer one than I can do here fully, but you must get clear on the concept of value and value creation, and recognize that value means different things to different people. What you might think is really valuable to your prospective buyer, they may not think is valuable at all. What you think is really cool, they may think is meaningless. What you think is their biggest decision-making criteria may be irrelevant. And the only way you'll know what they think value means is to invest enough intelligence gathering, enough research, and enough continuously monitoring of things like the top-selling books, the titles, what the titles refer to as far as solving the problems or fulfilling the goals the people want, the reviews that people write, good or bad, so you know how they feel about things, the discussion groups and what people write. And if you're not willing to invest to gain the advantage and the power and the authority that doing that will give you, then everything I'm sharing is a waste, and everything Dr. Cialdini is sharing will be underutilized. So the next thing is you want to have, just like you would do with your clients, a continuous relationship. Now, towards that, I don't care if you have a lot of clients or a few, you want to make certain that at key intervals, either your salespeople or, if preferably, you, the owner or the managing director, have communication with them at intervals. Depends on the size of your database, but a very good friend of mine, an expert in sales control, meaning gaining control of the sales dynamic forever, has found that if you and or your salespeople make it a commitment, not a point, not a hope, but a commitment to contact your buyers at least once every 3 months at worst, and do it preferably in person if it's big enough transaction. If you can't do that by phone, if you can't do that by email or letter, if you can't do that by group, either conference call, webinar, and ask them to share with you what's happening in their life. And listen, one of the ways that you establish, maintain, extend, fortify your connection and your ethical hold on the client is to be totally interested. You want to be the most interesting company, be the most interested. You want to be the most respected company, respect them. You want to be the most trusted company, trust them, and trust them to appreciate you investing, understanding, knowledge, education, and connection frequently. Now, in a minute, I'm going to explain to you how to maximize the trust you establish with your prospects, with your buyers, and with your team. But first, take a minute, take 5 or 10, and listen carefully to what I said, look at the notes you made, and go around the room again. And each of you discuss the one biggest insight, the one biggest realization, the one biggest shift in thinking, action, and transaction you now see you must start doing differently because of what I just shared. And then we'll go to the next step.